Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. I am currently recording my 8-DPO pregnancy testing video, but I'm not going to be sharing it yet. I decided to kind of conjoin all my testing for this cycle into one video and share it with you a little bit later when I feel led to share it with you. But I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about how I am feeling with this whole HSG test. If you're newer to my channel, I got my tubes tied, cut and burned actually, tubal ligation, after my daughter was born in 2013. And then years and years after that, in 2019, I experienced my first miscarriage. Prior to this, I have my son and my daughter, but we thought we were done having kids, so I got the tubal ligation and somehow ended up pregnant in 2019, which ended in a miscarriage. Then again, 3 years after that, in 2022, I got pregnant again, and same thing, it ended in a miscarriage. So from there, we've been going back and forth on what testing I can do, what procedures I can do to kind of see what is going on internally. Why am I able to get pregnant, but also why am I losing the pregnancies? So I have gotten all my hormonal blood work checked. Everything is perfectly fine there. Nothing was on the low side or on the high side. Nothing triggered any concern at all from my doctor. So then I was in the process of making an appointment to get my HSG procedure, which is when they check your tubes. They would check my fallopian tubes, see what's going on, what has reopened up, or if I have some type of like little hole somewhere where somehow it's allowing me to get pregnant. As you have seen, if you've been following this channel, I wasted 4 months with a doctor that told me they were going to do this, and we finally got our schedules in order, and I was supposed to get it done in October. And then all of a sudden they said they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it at that hospital, and they were not able to do the procedure for me at all. So I did not talk to them anymore. I went back to another doctor that I had talked to before all of this, the one that referred me to this hospital. I asked her for a different place that I could go to. So she referred me to another place, which was 2 hours away. And so far I've called them and they did not answer. I left a message. It looks like one day they might have tried to call me back because my phone rung just one time. And as soon as I clicked answer, it just like got disconnected. So I don't know what happened there. But I called back later that day and nothing, just the answering machine again. So I called 2 more times after this. I have called and the same thing. I leave a message because nobody answers the phone. The lady I'm supposed to speak to make this appointment for me, the referral specialist, she does not answer her phone. It goes straight to the messenger. So I leave a voicemail and then she has not called me back. So that was all last week, and so I don't know, it's like back and forth. We're playing phone tag and I'm getting like frustrated again, and I'm wondering why I experience so many blockages when it comes to getting this test done. And I've just been praying about it because really my gut tells me to stop pursuing it, leave it alone, and just leave it all to God, because I have been working on my closeness and relationship with God. And I feel like God is truly telling me to just let go, let Him work, and He's going to bring on the blessing either way. Whether what the doctor says or doesn't say, God is the one in charge of my life. But when it comes to this HSG procedure, it seems like I could not get it done no matter how hard I try, and all my attempts just fail. And really, like, my gut is telling me not to get it done. Just yesterday, I was talking to a friend. It's somebody that is actually moving into our neighborhood in the near future. And we got to talking, I don't know when, at some point in the middle of last year, we started talking about the miscarriages, because she has also experienced 2 losses. They're not the same situation as mine. She's never had kids yet. She experienced 2 losses so far. And so I relate to her because I've experienced 2 losses in a row as well. So we've been kind of talking about it, and she actually had the HSG procedure in the past just to kind of check on her fertility and everything. And she like told me how painful it is. She mentioned how painful it was the first time we talked about it, but this time we were talking about something else, and it randomly came up again about the HSG procedure. And she told me how it was so painful that she actually almost went into shock. Before she told me any of this, I had already looked on YouTube and kind of have been watching videos of everybody else's experiences, and some people say that it wasn't painful at all. Some people just said it was a little bit of cramping. Some people described it as the most horrific pain in their life, and that they would rather go through labor again than to get that test done again. So that is pretty insane. But knowing that my tubes are at some point blocked, either the left or the right is still blocked, or I have a partial blockage on both or either one, whatever the situation is, it's guaranteed that it's going to be painful for me, because you have a fluid that they're trying to inject into fallopian tubes that are most likely blocked. And just like the pressure and the pain, and just from that unnatural substance being in your body, it's going to be painful. And so anyway, back to my friend that I was talking to. I was actually, when she told me about how painful it was for her, and her tubes were not blocked at all either. She was checked out perfectly fine with that test, and she experienced so much pain, and like she said, she would never do that test again unless they offered her pain management. And I told her, well, actually the last doctor that was supposed to do this test, I asked him about like some local anesthetic or pain management at all, and they don't offer that. He told me to take some Tylenol before the procedure and everything would be good. I might experience some cramping, even though I know that's completely false based on other people's experiences. So I don't know if this new doctor would offer pain management. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. But anyway, when I was talking to her and she mentioned that, I was like, actually, thank you for bringing that up, because I have still kind of been like going back and forth and asking God for a sign. And the fact that we really weren't even on the topic of the HSG procedure at first, the moment that she brought that up, it was kind of like my confirmation. Like, okay, like I need to close this chapter of my life and just move on, because God is telling me something here. And it's not really that I'm scared, it's just that why should I put myself through all of this when my faith is 100% already on God and God's plan for us. And also I'm experiencing just so much, like I cannot seem to get this test scheduled no matter what I do, no matter what doctor I contact, and we have very limited options here in Maine as it is. And it just seems to not be working out, and it seems like the more I try, the more blockages I receive. And I know this in my life already, but I've also read many times that when something is just not meant to be, it's not going to be. It's not going to happen. When something is meant to be according to God, no matter what man or person comes in your way or like tries to block it, it's going to happen. Because if it's meant from God, it's going to happen. If it's in God's will for your life, it's going to happen. But when something is not from God, or when it's not in God's will for you, you're going to experience all types of blockages and just things that prevent you from reaching whatever it is. And that's kind of like where I am stuck right now. My gut truly tells me to just stop, surrender it all. And I think that's what I have to do. And I think I have to do it publicly and post a video about it to hold myself accountable and to kind of explain to you what is going on in my mind. Because a lot of you, of course, push for doctors and push for getting these tests done. But you don't understand that I am trying, and my heart is not in it. Like, I don't even want to do this anymore. I just am so done with doctors, and it just keeps going back to that. I want to rely completely on God, and I want that to be part of my testimony. I don't care what the doctors have to say about what happened to my tubal ligation, because if another child is in store for us, it's going to happen regardless. It's going to happen regardless of what the HSG tells me, even if the results are not 100% on those. I feel like whatever is God's plan for us is going to happen regardless what the doctor says, regardless what the test results say, and regardless if I do the test or not. And I don't feel like putting myself through unnecessary pain and through all this unnecessary stress of having to chase these doctors, playing phone tag with them, wasting appointments, putting miles on our car, driving an hour here, 2 hours there, and not getting anything done either way. So I guess this is just my video of saying I surrender it all. I have already surrendered everything else to God, and I need to just surrender this last thing. So I don't think I'm going to be pursuing the HSG anymore. I'm not going to be calling the doctor anymore. I really don't want that test. I don't care what that test has to say about my body, about myself, about my future. I just want to leave this chapter in our lives completely into God's hands, because that is going to complete our testimony. If we end up having another child, I can say, like, look, we left it all up to God and gave it to Him. He's in control of our next chapter of our lives, if we're meant to have another kid or not. So, and I truly believe that God has not been giving me all of these very vivid dreams and repetitive dreams of me having another child if it wasn't that He had another child planned for us. I think He's just getting all other aspects of our lives together, just putting in like the missing puzzle pieces in our world right now so that we can be ready to receive our next blessing. I do have a feeling that it is meant to be for us and it's going to happen, but I think it's going to happen in such a miraculous way that you guys will be able to see this as a complete testimony, a living testimony of faith, and just leaving it all in God's hands. So that's kind of what I had in my mind, and I'm going to post this video today. But my testing videos, I am still doing them. I'm just going to post them a little bit later. And I just wanted to add that in there. I needed to make a public announcement that I'm truly leaving it up to God. No more doctors, no more nothing. Of course, if I end up pregnant, I will seek doctors, because I will need to see a doctor for that. But as for doing any more tests or procedures to see what is going on, I just don't care. It's all up to God's plans. My life is in God's plans. He has our future already written for me and for you as well. So He wants all my 100% faith to be on Him when it comes to this and everything else in my life. Then that's what He's going to have. So I look forward to continue sharing my story and my journey with you, and being able to share even more testimonies that I have not shared with you already, and more to come, because God is doing amazing things with our family, and with our whole community here in Maine. So very excited to just continue sharing whatever God leads me to share with you. But I will see you later on when it's testing time, and just any other general updates. I will continue sharing messages with you as I'm receiving them. I hope you still continue to stick along to our channel, because I think some great things are about to happen, and I think we're just in the verge of those blessings that we have been waiting and praying for to finally reach down and touch us. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited for your future and everything that you may have been praying for. I hope that it comes true, and very soon as well. And I am just feeling led to pray about it as well. And if you would join me in prayer, if you'd like to, just God is putting in my heart to do a little prayer to end this video as well, because it is important to continue praying and meditating in God's presence, and doing it with one another makes it even better, because when two or more are gathered in his name, God is there. I am not sure if that's the exact quote or Bible verse, but that's just something that I know is true. So, dear God, today we are gathered here today, and I want to put anybody who is TTCing, trying to have a baby, trying to have a rainbow baby or their first, second, third, whatever it is, you have joined many of us together through this channel and many other TTC and trying to conceive channels. You have joined us together for a reason, for a purpose. And if it's not only to share our stories with each other and uplift each other up, it is for another purpose. I think it's for a greater purpose. I think that you're going to show up and show out for each and every one of us, God. I feel like you have miracles in store, and they're just right there at the tips of our fingers, or our fingertips. It's right there. And I feel like many of us are going to be able to receive those blessings from you, because you are the creator of life. You are who decides when our life begins and when our life ends, and you decide how many children you want to give us as well. We have to take our children, for those who have children already, we have to promise to God that we are going to raise them the correct way and going to teach them about you and bring them into the church and bring them into surroundings that's going to be positive for them and that they can learn from you. And we will make sure our children grow up to do your will as well, just as we are. So please, God, bless whoever is wanting more kids and is praying for more kids and just hoping and wishing, longing for more kids. Please bless us and let our story be a testimony, a living testimony, that when you put your 100% faith in you, God, you make things happen for us, and you will use our testimonies to strengthen the faith of other people as well. There is a reason why you led me to start this channel, and I have found my purpose, and I have been able to share my purpose on this channel as well. But I don't think you're done with me, God. I think you're not done with me or a bunch of ladies watching this video right now. I think you want to give us everything our heart desires, but we need to learn to put our 100% faith in you, not in man, not in doctor, not in anything else but the creator of life. I pray that you continue to strengthen our faith and be able to share our testimonies with others, because I think that that is important as well. I pray that you use my faith in you, because I am not afraid to say I leave it all in your hands, God. But I pray that you use my story to also strengthen other people's faiths, ones that may not have the guts to throw their hands up and say I leave it all up to you, God. I have that faith, but I know many struggle with that, and I was one as well. For the longest time, I have struggled with my faith, but now I'm at the point in my life where I can truly, honestly say, I leave it all up to you, God. It is all up to you. Use me, use my story. Basically, I surrender it all, and God is going to make miracles happen for me and for you. Just continue seeking for what the purpose is. What's the purpose of the losses and the struggles? Why has it been so hard to conceive? What is it that you're asking for in return? What is it? Just please, God, somehow answer our questions and our prayers, and let us find comfort in you, that you know everything. You know our next footsteps. You know every strand of hair on our heads. And you created us before we were even conceived, pretty much, from our own parents. So you will create our future children. You already have our future children planned, because these children are going to grow up and be servants of you, God. So I pray with all of my faith, I am surrendering it all, and I pray that you are able to surrender it all as well, you who are listening to this prayer. In the name of Jesus, let's just put our 100% faith in God. He's got it. He's going to come. He's going to show up and show out. I promise you something good is happening, and I can't wait to see that something so I can share it with you as well, and it'll be motivational to you and inspiring, and we will have no reason to believe that this was not from God. Amen.